There's an article in some media outlet, I believe it might be the New York Times or it might be the Wall Street Journal, based on the font. It's one of those two, what I've seen of the font, and what I know of fonts and what fonts are meant to convey to us, the kind of subterranean psychological effect it's supposed to have upon us to see that font and think, ooh, yes, this is important. This is important. These people are telling the truth. These people have integrity. Yes, yes, yes. Let us attend to their words. The headline of this article is "Don't Go Down the Rabbit Hole." And the subheadline is something like, "Critical thinking as we're taught to do it doesn't help in the war against misinformation." And I don't even need to read the article. I don't even need to read the article. I don't care to read the article because my tolerance for bullshit has been way, 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 way down right now. Maybe a few years ago, I would have been amused enough to see, how are they going to try to spin this? How are they going to try to make A look like not A? How many ways are they going to attempt to insult the reader's intelligence? But now, no, the headline is enough. Really, what they say below it is just blah, blah, blah. If this is the point that they're pushing, if this is what they're actually arguing for, if this is what they're actually trying to intimidate people into believing, then the proof is in the pudding right there. Now, I remember seeing this kind of mentality on display before, when fact-checking was in its infancy, but particularly around 4 or 5 years ago with Pizzagate. This is when they were, all of these supposedly respectable journals were putting forth these articles saying, fact check, is Pizzagate real? No, it isn't. And then you look a little further at their evidence for why Pizzagate is not real, and there's nothing. There's no substance to it at all. It's just, there's just a bunch of crazy people out there who are propagating all of these crazy ideas, and their crazy ideas aren't true. That's it. That's a debunking. That's no debunking. That's just an assertion. And time after time after time, I saw that to be the case. They didn't deal with the substance of the issue. They didn't look at what people who were talking about Pizzagate were pointing to. There was no talk about the contents of the letters that were unearthed by WikiLeaks. There was no talk of the pictures that were found at Comet Pizza Ping Pong. There was one picture mentioned in this ridiculous softball interview that was given on Fox News to James Alefantis. But in that interview, they tried to make it seem like, this picture, this little girl is tied up by her hands, but they're just having fun. It's just kids having fun together, which wasn't very convincing even on the face of it. But still, that was, there was no effort to look at the whole thing in its totality and to look at all the pictures that so many people had seen up to that point. So I'm already familiar with the lying media's MO, and it's so disappointing. It's so endlessly disappointing because you think that the Fourth Estate is supposed to be there to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted, right? That's supposedly their goal, their reason for being. And yet, the very opposite seems to be happening most of the time, especially lately. Now, this particular article in itself, and you can find it if you link to it. I'll find the link, and you can read the article and see. And if your stomach is made of sterner stuff than mine is right now. I just am tired of them trying to what metaphor should I use? Piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Something like that. I'm tired of that. Don't intend to put up with it anymore. Don't intend to waste another minute of my time with it. But there you have it, crystallized in that headline and in the subheadline. Right there, in a nutshell. Don't go down the rabbit hole. What is the rabbit hole? The rabbit hole is what you go down when you start to use critical thinking. Wait, critical thinking is bad? Critical thinking is bad? Is that what you're trying to propagate now? Critical thinking is something we should not believe in, something we should eschew. That's what you're going to be arguing? Well, critical thinking as we do it does not how does the statement go? Isn't helping in the war on misinformation. Well, maybe that shows you something about this so-called misinformation. Maybe that shows you that the misinformation that is being supposedly attacked, isn't really miss. And it's not misses either. It's just, it doesn't even have a title. It's just information. It's just real information that you're not supposed to know about. I'm sure the article tries to dress it up in some way, tries to make it, try some cutesy little, two-step, rhetorical two-step or other, to say, well, we need critical thinking, but not this kind of critical thinking, because critical thinking, pretty soon you're going to be going down the rabbit hole. Well, what does that tell you? I mean, you want us to believe these things that you are promoting, these artificialities that you are throwing forth out there in front of our faces. You're wanting us to think that these are real. And we use critical thinking, and we more and more see the holes in the very theories which argue that such things as these are real. Such things as these are beyond debate, and so forth. And your fact checkers are really more like propaganda agents. And that, again, you don't often see it so baldly on display as you do in this headline. But right there it is. Take a look at the headline. Take a look at the subheadline. Read the article if you've got a stronger stomach than me. It doesn't really matter what they say in the article. Wherever they go from there, they're going to say something like, well, critical thinking is bad, but we need a new kind of critical thinking. That critical thinking as practiced right now is bad. We need a new kind of critical thinking that helps us to confirm to ourselves that the lies that we're being told by the media are actually true. Some kind of sophistry is being employed there. And again, at a different time in my life, I would have been intrigued to see the mechanisms of it, the makings of it. But right now, I don't have any stomach for it whatsoever. So check it out for yourself if you dare. Otherwise, let me know what you think about this article, this headline. Thanks for watching. My name's Andy Nowicki. Please check out my work at altrightnovelist.com.